Ooh. Are you in like a hotel?
No,
Where are you?
I'm at my dad's house.
I was
Yeah.
just saying it's a really nice setup.
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, it looks legit. All right. So big day today. We're gonna talk a lot of stuff. So we have a rundown of our docket today. We'll run through a quick mock draft. Steven Silas and Dwayne Casey have both been are no longer head coaches of their respective teams, being the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets. While Wes Unseld Jr. for the Wizards and Jason Kidd for the Mavericks is safe. We'll also talk about the Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert situation, and we'll get into our play-in predictions. Where would you like to start this clock off? Should we just hit the quick headlines?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's start off with the big news. You're a Rockets fan. How does it feel? Steven Silas is gone. It's over. They are parting ways. The Houston Rockets will part ways with coach Steven Silas. The Rockets are declining the fourth-year option on Silas' contract, ending his tenure after 3 seasons. In 3 seasons, he went 59 and 177 as the head coach. He entered an unexpected rebuild in his first season as James Harden requested a trade. Harden was traded to Brooklyn in mid-January, and the Houston Rockets spiraled to a 17 and 65 record. 2 seasons of little progress, the Rockets won 20 and 22 games respectively. They're expected to begin a wide coaching search as soon as next week.
Yeah, man. BS. I don't know what the Rockets are doing. We should keep Silas. But
What?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's about damn time. It probably could have happened a year ago, but it is what it is. Steven Silas seems like a great person. He seems like a great guy. I'm sure he's a phenomenal coach, but as you just alluded to, he was not brought in here to rebuild the Houston Rockets. And it just didn't turn out the way it was expected to. And he'll be a top candidate for, assistant coach or whatever. And I'm sure he'll be very successful in his next coaching endeavor. But thankfully for the Houston Rockets, he is no longer the coach. It just didn't work out. The match wasn't there. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, I just think Steven Silas sucks because, I mean, I don't know. The guy didn't make sense, a lot of his coaching. And, yeah, I mean, he's 20 years as an assistant. I don't think he's ever going to get a coaching job again.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. I don't think he showed any good tendencies of being a coach. He's no James Borrego is getting opportunity to be a coach again. Is already getting opportunity to be a coach again, and that's because he got fired for really James Borrego got fired for no reason. Like every single season they improved under him, and the Hornets just fired him.
Should have ran it another year.
Yeah, another year. You brought Steve Clifford in instead of keeping James Borrego for another year. And he wasn't even fired. His contract just expired, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to renew it.
We're chilling.
Yeah. So here are some of the options that have came out on Steven Silas. The Houston Rockets are expected to have, up to 8 candidates. As of right now, the names under consideration are Ime Udoka, Kenny Atkinson, Frank Vogel, Nick Nurse. I've also seen Adrian Griffin throw in there. Adrian Griffin, AJ Griffin's father, who's an assistant coach for the Raptors, as well as Chris Quinn, former NBA point guard, assistant coach for the Miami Heat. And we know Udoka is probably the biggest name out there, what he did with Boston last year. Atkinson, the one who was the Nets coach and almost became the Hornets coach last season, but changed his mind and came back to the Warriors. And then you got Frank Vogel, former Pacers Magic coach and Lakers coach, where he won a championship. And, of course, Nick Nurse, where I think if you can't get Ime Udoka, you go out and get Nick Nurse. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind any of those coaches you named. Udoka's my guy. Udoka's definitely my guy. I think the Rockets need more of an OG who's going to keep them accountable. But
and not another first-year head coach.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Is no first year. I want a little bit more of a proven guy. I know Silas worked his magic with the Mavs, but as far as proven with the head coaching position. So, Ime is my top guy. Nick Nurse is right there. I would love Kenny. I'd absolutely love to have Kenny. I'd even have Frankie V.
Is Kenny Smith throwing his name in the coaching ring?
The Jet Smith?
Am I wrong in this picture? Is this not Kenny the Jet Smith, or is that Sam Castle?
Kenny the Jet Smith is not in this picture.
Yeah, no. Okay, that's Sam Castle, right? That's Sam Castle.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Sam Castle or Cassell. Is it Cassell or Castle? It's Cassell. Yeah. Sam Cassell. That's Sam Cassell. I don't know why. Doesn't Sam Cassell with the glasses kind of look like Kenny the Jet Smith?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you were saying Kenny, I wasn't thinking of Atkinson. I started thinking Kenny the Jet Smith.
No, yeah, Kenny Atkinson. Those are my top 4. I'll take any of them. Proven guys, but I think Udoka will hold them all accountable.
Yeah.
And I think he's actually perfect. I think Ime Udoka is perfect for what the Rockets need.
I just said in my video, and like someone literally quoted in the comment, like with the time marker, where I says, like, let's just not get a first-year head coach again. We need someone, like you said, teach them how to be professionals. And Luke and I were talking about it. It's like, that's why Dwayne Casey was perfect. And like Alvin Gentry for the Pistons, even though like they weren't great, Dwayne Casey taught those young men how to be professionals, how to be accountable and be responsible, and how to be an actual basketball player. Obviously, it didn't translate the wins, but I think Dwayne Casey did teach those guys the expectations of NBA players. And I don't know if Steven Silas taught.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's what we played. I've said this on the pod before. We played, I forget who it was. It was either Golden State or LA. And we almost won the game. I'm pretty sure it was Golden State. We almost won. We might have even won the game. And I'm watching this team play. It's like a month into the season. I'm like, these guys are lost. It's just isolation, buckets, and 3-point shots. Like, these guys have no idea what to do. I don't think that's ever on the player. I think that is going to be on the coach. So, yeah, I agree with you.
So for me right here, when you look at it, Rocket News says Nick Nurse. I would love Nick Nurse. And from what we're hearing is if the Raptors do move on from Nick Nurse, they're going to target Ime Udoka. And from what I've heard, Ime Udoka's number one option is the Raptors because that's the best team of like best roster available to him to win now. So if Ime Udoka does get the Raptors job and Nick Nurse parts ways with the Raptors, I would fully expect the Rockets to go full court press on Nick Nurse.
I mean, yeah,
he coached the Rio Grande Valley Vipers.
I know. And I know there's some guys within the Raps organization, but it's not happening. Nick Nurse will be the coach of the Toronto Raptors next year. And Thomas.
Give me Jeff Van Gundy.
I do not want Jeff Van Gundy. In fact, I find him.
Isn't Jeff Van Gundy like a terrible coach? He had he had a good run with the Knicks, right?
I just find him a tough listen.
I do not like Jeff Van Gundy. I like his brother, Stan.
Yeah, Stan's the man. Yeah.
Stan is the man.
Stan's the man.
Did you know Dwayne Casey's responsible for the past 35 years? He goes back so for his first 5 years coaching as a head coach, he coached 2 separate Japanese basketball teams in the Japanese Basketball League, and between 89 and 94. But every summer since 89, he goes back and spends the full summer hosting basketball camps and training clinics in Japan. And Dwayne Casey, arguably single-handedly, is responsible for the new wave of Japanese basketball players. Is that mind-blowing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes back to Japan every summer and spends his entire summers in Japan hosting basketball training camp, like basketball camps and basketball coaching clinics.
Doesn't he have like a wife and kids?
Yeah, white wife.
Well, that's not where I was headed towards.
No, but it's just so funny because it's like the most Dwayne Casey wife ever. Because
Dwayne Casey
looks like I think Dwayne Casey is what you would envision in a 1980s movie what a Black Wall Street guy would look like.
I think that's very accurate.
Don't you agree? Like if you fold up like the way he dresses and everything, he looks like he's like shorting stocks in the 80s. Like Dwayne Casey.
I think I would pay money to have Dwayne Casey give me any type of life advice. I don't want.
There's nothing wrong with him having a white wife. I'm just saying, it's just Dwayne Casey. It's like Dirk Nowitzki having a black wife. It just fits Dirk Nowitzki and it fits.
Does he?
Yeah, you didn't know Dirk Nowitzki's wife's awesome, but yeah, like Dirk Nowitzki has like yeah, she's black. Like nothing wrong with it. It's just funny when you like see Dirk because like Dirk's from Germany, so you would just think he'd have like an Aryan race wife, you know? Tell me I'm wrong though. Like you just.
Oh my goodness. Dwayne Casey though.
Dwayne Casey though,
I want
like
life advice from him. I will listen to anything Dwayne Casey had to tell me.
Rocket news. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh.
All right. So from what I understood was Dwayne Casey. Thank you, Rocket News. I thought there was nothing wrong there either. I was just stating facts. All right. Dwayne Casey. He announced Sunday was his last game. He's no longer coaching the team and that he's moving into the front office. He completes a 5-year run as the head coach, going 121 to 263. He coached the Timberwolves, the Raptors, and the Pistons in this 14-year head coaching career. Took the Raptors to 6 consecutive playoffs, as well as the Pistons in their first year to the playoffs. And then he's led the rebuild. He's pulling in Alvin Gentry and moving to the front office, and he'll have a hand in who will be the next head coach. With that being said, Charles Lee, Adrian Griffin, M.A. Udoka, Chris Quinn are all guys who have already been listed as potential head coaching options there. We assume, probably a few other guys. We've heard Jay Wright, Jerry Stackhouse as well as people to be names to watch out for due to the fact that, supposedly Jay Wright, when he retired, said that there is, he left the door open for a jump to the NBA as many NBA teams very much like Jay Wright and how he created a program in Villanova that actually set up NBA players, like set college players up to be successful in the NBA. So right there off of your list, what do you think? I'm not a fan of bringing college coaches in, especially a team like the Pistons where I think Nick Nurse would be, if Nick Nurse doesn't go to the Raptors and if they do move on and the Rockets don't take him, I think that's a good one. Obviously, M.A. Udoka for any team is great. Before I let you go, I think if I had to choose a first-year coach, I want it to be Jerry Stackhouse from Vanderbilt. I really like him.
Yeah, I like that.
And he won a championship with the Raptors 905 as their head coach. So I would really like Jerry Stackhouse to replace. But if we're going for a coach with experience, I think it should be, M.A. Udoka, but again, that might be the Rockets or the Raptors or Nick Nurse. But I think Kenny Atkinson would be a good one. But yeah, like Thomas Perry, I think Stack would be really good. I really like Stack.
Yeah.
And
I like that too. I do like Dwayne Casey being in the front office as well. He one day he'll have to get through the Raptors and he'll know exactly what to do when that time comes. But Stack's a good option. Obviously, Ime. Kenny's also solid. I think the Pistons will probably jump on a head coach. I think they'll do it really soon. I think they'll do it before the Rockets, I should say.
Yeah, I honestly think the Pistons will be a lot quicker with this. I know Troy Weaver, he's from the OKC Thunder, so don't be surprised if there's somebody with Thunder connections gets hired, because I know Troy Weaver came from Sam Presti. So could be someone that goes through the organization. I hope it's not Scott Brooks, but I know Scott Brooks was listed as a coaching candidate for someone.
Love Scott Brooks.
I think Scott Brooks is an option for the Rockets.
What's your issue with Scott Brooks?
I think he's a horrible coach. He's like very rudimentary with his play calling. I watched him for Wizards.
Yeah, true. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I got to see him. Like literally, don't get me wrong, Russell Westbrook with Scott Brooks ran like one play and led us to the playoffs, but I'm quitting nicotine either way in like the next month and a half. Whoa. So it doesn't matter. I'm quitting in June for the 4th time. I actually don't have an addiction.
Dude, I don't know what is going on. It's the lighting. I don't know what is going on. Look like I have. Actually, it looks really cool blonde hair.
You look like you're really blonde. Well, were you in the sun? Were you in the sun yesterday?
Yesterday.
Does your hair does your hair get blonde?
It's the lighting, dude. Yeah, my hair gets a little bit blonder.
Like,
but
let's say if we went on. No, but like, let's say if we went on a cruise and like it was a 5-day cruise through the Caribbean. On the 5th day, would you be like way blonde. Are you one of those people that like after like 5 days in the on the beach, you're like your hair like turns wildly blonde? No. I
I
have
don't
friends
think
who are like dirty blondes, and like when they go to the beach and like after a few days, they literally look like the surfer hair. Like their hairs are like super like blonde highlight.
shit, dude. Maybe they go to the beach on Saturday.
All right, so who's your best? I think we both agree it would be really cool to have M.A. Udoka for the Rockets and for the Pistons. But if Rockets gets M.A. Udoka, who would you want the Pistons to get? I think Jerry Stackhouse.
Why not just go for another rap coach and snag Nick Nurse? But yeah, Stackhouse is cool. I like Kenny a lot for him.
I do like Kenny a lot. I know he's not on the list.
Oh, he's not?
He's not on the list. Yeah, not that the one that they put out recently.
First year head coaches worry me, but I would so much rather go with a guy like Jerry than Jay Wright. Not sure if I have the logic for it, but that's what I'm thinking.
Makes sense. Now let's move over and talk about a situation that blew up yesterday in Minnesota. And are we saying the Minnesota trade is a failure?
Ooh. I think it was a failure, like the day it happened.
No, but obviously, like as a Timberwolves fan myself, I do see this trade the day that it happened was, we overpaid. But at this moment, for anybody who did not see what happened yesterday, I can actually play the video right here. We'll play it real quickly. And what occurred was Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert got into a physical altercation. And I also want to say, as soon as that physical altercation happened, I love how Taurean Prince jumped up like he had been waiting to get in a fight, like with Rudy Gobert. He jumped up so quick, like I've been waiting for this moment to fucking pop. Here we go. This is it. And then this is the Jaden McDaniels situation. Jaden McDaniels then broke his hand on the way to the locker room.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you guys haven't seen the first one, right here, I believe is this the Rudy Gobert right here?
Where's Taurean Prince?
Oh wait, that wasn't the Rudy Gobert, but either way, the Rudy Gobert situation was that they were right there. Supposedly, what ended up happening in the altercation was this is what happened. We heard that Rudy. Okay, so Kyle Anderson was pissed at Rudy Gobert. I got to find the actual like phrasing of what they said, but it was along the lines that Kyle Anderson told Rudy Gobert kind of like to shut the fuck up, and Rudy Gobert didn't take it lightly. And right here, I have the whole thing. So Minnesota, Rudy Gobert escalated a verbal argument to a physical encounter after Kyle Anderson told him to shut the fuck up, bitch. The disagreement started with Anderson telling Gobert to block some shots. Gobert telling Kyle Anderson to grab a rebound, ended with a punch, Gobert being sent home. Gobert later sent an apologetic text in the team's group chat per Mike Conley, quote, "We'll speak about it and move on. We're grown man," end quote. And yeah, and Rudy Gobert put out a tweet 12 hours ago saying, I'll put it right here, "Emotions got the best of me. I should not have reacted the way I did regardless of what was said. I want to apologize to the fans, organization, and particularly to Kyle, who is someone that I truly love and respect as a teammate." What are your initial thoughts on the whole? I mean, first off, Jaden McDaniels punching the wall, that is so stupid. Like, okay, there's so many better ways to vent your frustration. Like,
yeah, punch a player like Rudy Gobert.
So Thomas Perry says, I think it was a failure given where things are at, very crazy behavior going down. And that's what I'm saying. Let's just act like there was not an overpay. Okay. Let's just forget there was an overpay for Rudy Gobert. The way everything went down, they're a play-in team. And it seems like the way the fight broke out with Rudy Gobert, I punch a player. I like that. But no, what I'm saying is the way that everything went down when if you watch the video, let me pull it all up, of Rudy Gobert, no one backs Rudy Gobert up. No one comes to Rudy Gobert's defense. Did you see that in the video? I'll pull it up right here.
I think, yeah, I don't. it looked like a lot of people weren't backing anybody up. It seemed.
No, it looks like everyone was backing up Kyle Anderson and was happy.
Yeah, people were backing him up because he just got punched and he was about to go punch Rudy Gobert back. And they're like, whoa, hold on, chill. When Rudy Gobert starts talking to Kyle Anderson, there's a hand literally on his arm where it's like, hey, somebody knew what was about to come.
Here we go. I got right here. This is the video that shows. So right here, they're arguing. All right, look, just watch Taurean Prince right here. How Taurean Prince literally gets so stoked to fight fucking Rudy Gobert. It's like he's so stoked. Anthony Edwards in the background, just like looking like Anthony Edwards. He's like, damn, this is bad. Anthony Edwards is like, this ain't good. His face, this ain't good, is literally Anthony Edwards' face. He's like, this shit ain't good.
I feel like I'm watching the JFK video. But anyways, it's a failure because they're 42-40. I don't think the Gobert trade isn't a failure because they're 42-40. You need the context, unfortunately, in this situation. We can't forget about the 5 first-round draft picks. And because of the 5 first-round draft picks, it is a huge failure. The only way it wouldn't be a huge failure is if they got to the NBA Finals. They were never going to get to the NBA Finals. It's Rudy Gobert. And you didn't just acquire Joel Embiid. So it's not Gobert's fault. It's a compilation of everything. Why is all of this stuff happening? Why is it getting leaked? Apparently in the locker room, Kyle Anderson said, I'll knock your fucking face off, or I'll knock you the fuck out.
Supposedly at halftime, a full break, supposedly in the Timberwolves locker room at halftime, a full fight almost broke out.
Yeah, that's how it be, though. I don't have...
Do you trade Rudy Gobert? You can't keep him on the team.
Why? Why can't I keep him on my team? He's my best defender. There was so much buildup in that specific game yesterday that led to this moment. And there was one that really pissed me off where it was like Cat getting upset at Gobert for Cat inbounds the ball. And I think it was Connolly who's like running around. He's got somebody on him. So Gobert turns around, Cat throws him a pass, and he had who was it, Trey Murphy on him. Trey Murphy steals the ball, gets the layup or dunk, and Cat's all mad at Gobert. Like,
yeah, I know.
Last I checked, Gobert is 7 feet tall and not supposed to be the one to bring the ball up the court. Yeah. So if somebody's going to get upset at lack of effort or lack of defense, it certainly shouldn't.
Whose fault is this? Is this Chris Finch's fault? Is this Tim Conley's fault? Is it Tim Conley's fault for poorly constructing a roster? Is it Chris Finch's fault for not coaching the roster, or is it the player's fault, or is it Rudy Gobert's attitude?
It's everybody's fault. I think it's everybody's fault. Should Gobert have thrown a punch on the court against a teammate? No. Should Kyle Anderson have said you a soft bitch or whatever he said to him? That one's a little bit better, but in the old days, in the good old era, 90s basketball, I guarantee you, if you walked up to, who should we use as a good example? Like, what do you? Michael Jordan is probably the worst.
The Detroit Pistons. I bet you the bad boy Pistons from the 80s, they used to fight each other all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you walk up to a grown man and you call him a soft ass bitch,
he's not going to take it lightly. No, of course.
Punch is expected. 20 years, 30 years ago, punch is expected if you call a grown man a soft-ass bitch.
All right.
Fights happen. I don't think the issue was that this fight happened. I think do it in the locker room. I think the issue was Gobert throwing the punch live on the court because that's not what you want. Save that for the locker room. That it got leaked. I don't think Minnesota's running a great organization. I think it's a mixture of everybody.
Oh, Minnesota hasn't ran an organization for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about one last.
Real quick, teammates should be family, and we'll touch on it here in this clip as well, because I think the Bones one's a lot different. Emotions are high. Like, livelihoods are at stake. Some people want it. Some people don't want it. Some people want it really badly. It's very competitive, and sometimes, as Gobert tweeted, your emotions get the best of you. I would actually guess Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert are good good teammates. Like,
yeah,
they like each other. Emotions are running high. Nobody's pleased. No Wolf players pleased that they're 42-40 in the freaking play.
No, I completely agree. So let's go over here. A little scuffle broke out between Mason Plumlee, a 10-year vet, against Bones Highland, who's a second-year player, and Nick Batum sat Bones Highland down. I think this was just Bones Highland being a young buck and just getting heated and emotional. And then you have our boy. So
the break at the quarter.
Right here.
Kiss.
Look at this. Watch over here. Nick Batum just pulled the ultimate vet move where Bones Highland trying to go for round 2, and Nick Batum literally goes, sit your ass down, boy, and just fucking comes over and talks to Mason Plumlee because he knows Bones Highland's emotions are running high. So he just tells the young buck, sit down. I'm going to go talk to the vet because I know Mason Plumlee can reason. And you know what I mean? That's true. That's why Nick Batum's going to be in the league for another 4 years. Right there. How he just sits down Bones Highland. Don't go back. Because Bones Highland's trying to keep instigating this further.
Too.
Huh? Yeah. And Powell
does a good job.
This is two good vets right here. Powell and Batum telling young buck, look, it's your emotions. Just sit down. Then Powell's over here going to talk to Bones while Batum's going to talk to Highland. Like, this is what vets do. They sit down the young buck, they go over to the other vet, and they talk it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's all clear. And it's like you said, I think it's completely different than what happened with the Timberwolves. This was just Bones Highland being a young buck, getting heated. Mason Plumlee being a vet telling Bones Highland what the fuck to do. And Bones Highland probably being a young buck with a hot head and being like, don't tell me what to do. And then dumb butting heads. Batum comes in, young buck, sit down. And then Powell comes over, talks to the young buck. And then Batum goes and talks to Plumlee. And it's just like,
Yeah.
And it's like Batum stopped Bones because Bones was trying to further instigate it. Batum was like, nah, you're done. You got into your beef. You guys are done. All right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between the Timberwolves and the Clippers, how these vets were able. Ty Lue didn't even have to interject. Vets took care of it.
Yeah. That's where you want Mike Conley and Taurean Prince to pull him aside and just be like, you said what you said what you wanted to say.
It's different though. Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert are both 10-year players. It's different when it was two vets fighting.
Yeah, it's not like Jaden McDaniels or Anthony Edwards. 100%.
Exactly. Or Jaden McDaniels versus Rudy Gobert, or you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. If it was one of those two young guys.
Yeah, a young guy versus a 10-year vet. There's a complete difference in how that goes down. I agree. Bones, I think the Clippers are fine. I think this is a good. Shows that everyone's bought in.
Nothing. They should be worried more about Russell Westbrook skill level or his style of play in the playoffs. But we'll talk about that soon enough. I want to say I worry about Bones Highland. Kind of threw some beef at Jamal on his exit. Seems like a very young kid who may not necessarily think about how some of his words or actions impact the people around him. I worry about Bones, but in that play, I don't know if we have the play. It was crazy how right Mason Plumlee was. Bones Highland wanted the ball, but hey, you know what? If they gave the ball to Bones Highland, the fast break is over. Mason Plumlee made a great play. I get both sides. Bones wasn't in the right position, but I get it. Get the ball to the guard, but then I also get Plumlee where it's made the play. So yeah, it's just a veteran savvy move that Plumlee made to end up working. So I get it. It's just competition, running high, young kid versus old OG.
Exactly. So now it is that time. Let's cue the music. And people don't know, but guess what? The NBA season ended. It was a fun one. 82 games. Unless you're Mikal Bridges and you play 83 games. But, guys, you know what time it is? It's happened.
It's rap battle time.
It's NBA play-in predictions time. And we're going to start with the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And let's get right into it, Jackson. You excited? Okay. We made a few little graphics over here. All right. Yep. Let me make sure that's the top one. And yes, we are talking play-in basketball. And this is something that I'm rather excited to get into with you. And we're doing the Oklahoma City Thunder versus New Orleans Pelicans. They are the 9 and 10 seed in the Western Conference. If you guys are understanding how the play-in tournaments work, I will run through right now and explain it to you real quick. And I know what's going on is the way this works is the 7th and 8th seed in the East and Western Conference only have to play one game. The winner of the 7 and 8 seed will move on to play the 2nd seed as the 7th seed in the NBA playoffs, while the loser of the 7 8 seed will play the winner of the 9th and 10th seed. And whoever wins the battle between the loser of the 7th and 8th seed and the winner of the 9th and 10th seed will then move on to be the winner, to be the 8th seed that faces the 1 seed in their respective conferences. So let's get right into this. Whoever wins the Thunder Pelicans game will be playing the loser of the Timberwolves Lakers game. And let's get it. Right now, 40 and 42, 10th in the West is the Thunder, 9th in the West at 42 and 40 is the Pelicans. The Pelicans have the 6th best defense while having 21st best offense and the 10th best net rating, average about 26 assists per game. And then you have an offensive rating from our man, the Thunder, at 13, the defensive rating of 14 from the Thunder, but they're way better at defense than this shows. Net rating of 14. Who do you have winning this matchup right here and why, Jackson?
I definitely have the Pelicans winning this game. I think they're trending in the right direction, but I think this is one of those situations where their experience, it leads you to the win here. I think OKC would have to play. I think Shea would, I know Shea's going to do well. I know the Thunder are going to do well, but I think at the end of the day, I just think the vets, I think the OGs on the Pelicans, they're also a great team. I think they win this game.
I agree with that. I have the Pelicans winning. I think the Thunder will make this, scary, but I just think the Pelicans have the size. There is no truth center on the Thunder. I think Giannis Valanciunas, Jackson Hayes, Willie Hernangomez, all the bigs on this team are going to be playing minutes against the Thunder, and the Thunder are going to have a hard time rebounding and scoring inside against a Pelicans team because the Pelicans are going to just pack the paint. They're going to tell the Thunder to shoot threes, and they're going to pack the paint, tell Shea, Josh Giddey, J-Dub, just shoot threes, And I think this is going to be a great experience for the Thunder. They're going to get to be able to play in a game that matters. And I was saying in a video that I think this is going to be a great opportunity for them to experience games that matter. And it's going to be very similar to the Memphis Grizzlies of a few years ago when the Grizzlies finally made the play-in. I believe, did they lose in the play-in?
Yeah.
And following year, they made the playoffs. And I think, and then this year was the year, they're second in the West.
Back-to-back 50-win seasons?
Yeah, back-to-back after, 2 years ago making the play-in. So I could see the Thunder falling in the similar vein to how the Grizzlies did 2 years ago when they finally made the play-in. And I think this is just a good experience for the young guys to play in games that matter. But yes, I agree with you. Pelicans win this because I think there's more firepower and especially there's more rebounding and that they'll be able to shut down Shea and tell Josh Giddey and J-Dub beat us and Lou Dort beat us.
Yeah, I think that if I am the Thunder, I think a good blueprint, at least part of the blueprint, is going to be run that goddamn ball up and down the court and just score at will and just literally score at will because the Pelicans, if they don't come out shooting, they don't take many threes, they don't make many threes. If they just run up that pace, that's going to benefit them. So that's my only concern with the Pelicans is if those threes aren't falling and OKC's running that ball as we know they will, you're gonna have to score. We're gonna need a big game from Brandon Ingram. If I'm New Orleans Pelicans, I need a good game from Brandon Ingram and my supporting cast. Same thing, vice versa with Shea, OKC.
Rocket news: Zion Williamson is unlikely to play in this play-in game. They are hopeful that he'll be back for the playoff series if they do make it to the playoffs.
Truth man, I think he's guaranteed out.
We'll do these predictions and then we'll do the mock draft. Anything else you want to bring up about this? I think this is a clear cut that I think the general consensus is the Pelicans will win this game. No disrespect to the Thunder.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Lakers are 7th in the West. They have the best defensive rating since the All-Star break, but on the season it's 11, a net rating of 16th, and a offensive rating of 20th, while the Timberwolves, who are 8th in the West, are the 23rd best offense at 113.7, 10th best defense at 113.8, and their net rating is 20th. Right here, right now, who do you expect to win this matchup? I personally think it's the Lakers, who will be going up against the Memphis Grizzlies, which I think is a great matchup. I just think right here, the Timberwolves are imploding. I think Anthony Davis will make, like, I'm not worried about an Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert matchup or Karl-Anthony Towns. Whoever they throw at Anthony Davis will be fine. And then Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be, Jared Vanderbilt's going to have like a revenge game. Same thing with D'Angelo Russell. I think, I just don't, especially with Jaden McDaniels out, who's going to shut down LeBron?
Exactly. They're injured and they're working some stuff out within their team right now. And to just throw in some extra sweetener, the Lakers are a good basketball team, and they've been a great basketball team since the trade. And it's very rare you see a midseason acquisition like this where it's like, whoa, like shit, they can definitely win the NBA Finals now. This game will not only go in the Lakers' favor, they will blow out the Minnesota Timberwolves at home, and I'll go even a step further. They'll take down the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round of the playoffs.
Wow.
But this game won't be close. It won't be close. Not with Le3 shot. On fire from 3.
What
did LeBron have? 8 threes?
Oh yeah, no, he was absurd. And for me, what we see right here is, I don't know, like it's just, I can't, when I look at this, Mike Conley versus D'Lo. All right, that's an okay matchup. I say that those even them out. Austin Reeves versus whoever, Anthony Edwards, or I guess it'd be Anthony Edwards because they'll probably play Taurean Prince and Jaden McDaniels. Then Taurean Prince play against whoever.
His hand.
Yeah. So Jaden McDaniels is out. So Taurean Prince is going to be the guy who starts, probably Kyle Anderson. And then you got right there. I just don't think the T-Wolves have enough players or capable of matching up. I think the Lakers are going to run them out the building.
Yeah. Concurred.
Thomas, they also added Tristan Thompson. We can do a little.
This dude is not gonna play more than 5 freaking minutes. I guarantee you, actually, Tristan Thompson and Shaq Harrison, I bet you they don't sniff 30 or more minutes the rest of the season combined.
So let me just address this just for the sake of addressing it, just so we can clip it. But basically right here, what we have learned is our man Tristan Thompson and Shaquille Harrison have been signed by the Los Angeles Lakers. And the reason why they signed Tristan Thompson and Shaquille Harrison and they waived Devon Wright in a corresponding move was Tristan Thompson, they're eligible to play because they were both free agents on March 1st, and Shaquille Harrison was on his contract expired. So Shaquille Harrison was brought in specifically for if they play Malik Monk or the Memphis Grizzlies in the playoffs, if they never need a guy who can literally shut down any freaking player. Shaquille Harrison, 6'4", can guard 1 through 4, has like a 7-foot wingspan, probably one of the best defenders in free agency. And then Tristan Thompson, he's basically Wayne Gabriel's backup, or if they need another guy who can just come in, grab offensive rebounds, and protect the rim, has a relationship with LeBron. That's basically it. It's a good fit. And they're just, depth moves. They're moves to give them extra depth in case any injuries happen. It's for Mo Bamba, who seems like the ankle sprain's a lot worse than we anticipated. So I think this is, 2 good standard NBA contracts for the rest of the season. I think Tristan Thompson and Shaquille Harrison give them, 14th and 15th guy roster spots. Nothing insane.
Yeah, they will not play.
Yeah. If they play, it's because somebody got hurt.
Yeah, 2 great camp bodies, or not camp bodies, 2 great playoff OGs
bodies.
To have on your team.
Yeah, OGs, just bodies to have. And, if any of the 2 do play, it's probably Shaquille Harrison if they need someone to come in and just to lock somebody down for 5 minutes.
This is my boy Arjun.
Hey. You're funny.
Thank you, Arjun. Thank you. These guys will not sniff the floor.
Now we're moving on to the Chicago Bulls versus Toronto Raptors. Bulls versus Raptors. I personally look at this matchup. The 5th defensive rating is the Bulls. 24th offensive rating for the Bulls at 113.5, 112.2 for the defensive rating, and 1.3 for their net rating, which ranks them 13th. You got the Raptors with the 115.5 offensive rating at 11th, 114 defensive rating at 12th, and their 1.5 net rating puts them at 12th. These teams are very evenly matched. And when I look at it, I take the Raptors.
Would you?
I just think the Raptors can out rebound them and can shut down. Like, I don't know. This is two teams that I guess the Bulls are a bit deeper, but like they're not. Both of these teams aren't deep. It's really whose starting lineup do you believe, or 6 guys do you believe is deeper?
When I look at a head-to-head playoff opponent matchup, head-to-head match, I go with superstars, and I like Spicy P, and I love my boy from Rockford. And I agree with you. On paper, I think the Raptors would easily win this game, but there's something in the air. I don't know. It must be
something in the
gust.
air tonight.
The Bulls will win this game. Zach LaVine will drop 31. DeMar will drop 26. Vooch will drop 21 and 13.
I can feel it coming.
The Raptors won't be able to score
against
this lockdown Bulls defense. Pat Bev is going to corral us to the playoffs.
Do you like that song, In the Air Tonight?
Is that, yeah, that's
Phil
for
Collins.
the drum.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. I know it's for all my life. Oh, Lord. You know that song's about Phil Collins seeing a guy drowning? Phil Collins watching a guy watch another guy drown, and both of them do nothing. And then Phil Collins at his concert sees the guy who saw the guy drowning and did nothing. And Phil Collins and the guy lock eyes because they're both aware that they watched the guy drown and didn't do anything.
I think it's an alleged story. I think that's the alleged reason. I don't believe that's a proven fact.
Well,
I don't know about buying that last one there. I don't know.
That's what Slim Shady says in
what the fuck is that noise?
In Stan lyrics.
Stan's a great song.
Stan's a great song. Yeah. I want to actually pull this up. Yeah, that song by Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, about the guy who could have saved that other guy from drowning but didn't, and then Phil saw it all. Then at a show, he found him. That's kind of how this is. You could have rescued me from drowning. Now it's too late. I'm 1,000 downers. Now I'm drowsy, and all I wanted was a lousy letter or a call. That's such a great song. But between the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors, I personally think when you look at this, it's something's in the air tonight. All right, we're gonna make this all come back. It seems convoluted. It's callback, okay? And I don't know who's gonna win because I feel like both of these teams are drowning and they're trying to save it, okay? And I feel like we're Phil Collins watching these two people like watch another man drown, and I don't know, is Pat Bev going to save this team or is Nick Nurse going to save his job?
Nurse ain't going anywhere still, but yeah, Pat Bev is a big reason why I got the Chicago Bulls, and also I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. As desperate as the Bulls season has been, I think the Raps season has been a little bit more desperate due to their expectations. So it's been a disaster. Neither team can figure it out. So who can figure it out for 48 minutes? Well, we'll find out Wednesday night during our live NBA playback at Toronto, in Toronto, where you guys can.
Okay, so wait, the Raptors up. Who are you taking and why?
Well, I'm taking the Bulls because they have a trio of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, and the Raptors don't. So. I
personally think the Raptors are going to win this because Jakob Poeltl will shut down Nikola Vucevic.
Oh.
Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby will shut down DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Okay. Then you have Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet going up against Ayo DeSumo, and Pat Bev and Kobe White.
Just throwing DeSumo in early.
I love how DeSumo just disappeared.
Well, Kobe White is a great basketball player, and I would not say Dosunmu just disappeared. Oh, your lead dude start this season.
He started the season, but since Pat Bev came, like they've slowly phased the sumo out.
Well, yeah, we had to improve it. I'm trying to see the last time we played Toronto.
And who won that matchup?
I don't actually see it
anywhere. Hey, Thomas, I believe in the Raps. I'm taking the Raps in this matchup. I think the Raptors will win this matchup. Personally, I think between the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors, I think the Raptors are bigger. They'll out-rebound them. Pirtle can shut down Vooch. You got OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam shutting down DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Okay, now you got Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr. going up against the rest of the Bulls roster. I'm taking the Raptors right here, baby. When was the last time they played?
It was February 28th, and they beat the Bulls.
Yeah, I told you.
Just shit game 104-98. Don't forget about Mr. Alex Caruso either. We're going to have Drummond neutralize Jakob Poeltl's rebounding, by the way. So.
All right.
Bulls turned it over 19 times. That's not going to happen again. We've been a much better team.
So we moved over to the next one, which is the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. I'm sorry that I didn't realize with these graphics that should have pushed them over a little bit, but the Hawks have the 7th best offensive rating, 22nd defensive rating, and the 18th best net rating, while the Miami Heat have the 25th best offensive rating, 9th best defensive rating, 21st net rating. So when you look at this team, the Quinn Snyder, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray-led Hawks going up against the Bam Adebayo, Kevin Love, and Jimmy Butler-led Heat. I just have more faith in the Miami Heat because of their experience. I think Bam Adebayo and Kevin Love can dominate. I think, but at the same time, Trae Young is built for playoff basketball.
Is he?
I personally think so.
Maybe in New York.
He can get hot at any moment, but
he can get hot. Okay. Yeah.
And he's the type of guy that when he gets hot, he just doesn't miss. And like, he could literally just carry you to a win.
Yeah. He also could get locked down. I think, but I agree with you. I think and I don't think it'll be because of Kevin Love, but I think Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler will take this team to the promised land as far as being the 7th seed. But then for the Atlanta Hawks, I know we haven't gotten into it, but I do think they will still make the playoffs.
I agree. So I think whoever wins the Raptors Bulls game will be playing the Hawks, and I think the Hawks will win will beat the winners of the Bulls Hawks Raptors game. But I just think on paper and just Miami's culture and history, they're the team to take right here. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler's just going to go insane. Bam Adebayo.
Basketball,
yeah. Kevin Love's the best drawer of charges in the league, dude. Since joining the Heat, he has over like 30 charges, and he didn't have any draw.
That can't be true.
Yeah, he leads the league.
That can't be true.
Yeah, he leads the league in NBA charges, and he didn't start collecting charges until he got to the Heat. He's had over 30 charges in less than a month. He's drawn.
I don't.
Isn't that? I watched him get 3. He drew 3 charges back to back plays. I watched them because what they do is they put Kevin Love what they do is they tell Kevin Love to be their center, and he plays drop coverage. But you know what he does? He doesn't block shots. So when someone comes to go lay up, he just sets a pick. So they have to go around him, and they just run into him every time.
So Kevin Love played 9 minutes yesterday. So
and drew a charge. I think he drew 2 charges yesterday in 9 minutes. I'm telling you, dude. Have you not seen?
I'm sure he's drawing charges. I'm sure he had 3 charges yesterday. Lord knows why you're watching the fucking Miami Heat play the Orlando Magic in the final game of the season.
Because it's Orlando's last game of the year. I also watched the Wizards play. What the fuck you mean? That was the last game I was going to be able to watch them all year.
Okay.
So I watched the Orlando Magic. I watched the Washington Wizards. I watched most of the teams I wasn't going to be able to watch in the playoffs. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah,
I'm watching the games I can't watch for the rest of the year. Plus, I'm about to be I'm moving to Miami. Got to represent my team. I'm technically a Marlins fan now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these rosters. Still not very sure why. But I get it. I get it.
Thomas. Drawing charges back, literally drawing
but
charges.
30?
Dude, he's had over 30. Look, I'm going to stat
It's
muse.
an
And
absurd number. I'm gonna stat muse it. Kevin Love. If this gives me the answer, I'd stat muse is the can't answer questions about file types yet.
yeah. All right. How many? All right. Listen to this. Kevin Love has drawn 36 charges
In his career.
this season. He draw. Kevin. Okay. Listen to this. Kevin Love per 36 minutes has drawn. Okay. Kevin Love has drawn 33 charges. He's only behind Jay Will on the OKC Thunder. I'm pulling this up just to fucking prove to your bitch ass. Hustle leaders. All right. Kevin Love averages 0.5 charges per game. Every 36 minutes he plays, he averages 1 charge. Okay.
Absurd statistic.
Yeah. Kevin Love also, he didn't have any single charges allegedly. I'm pretty sure when he joined the Heat. Since joining the Heat, he has had 33 charges drawn.
Yeah, that is just unreal.
Isn't that an absurd? You thought I was making this up, right?
That is just what I believe he gets charges, but like 33, like having none with Cleveland, and then just
all he does.
Like a freaking charge.
So what the Miami Heat do is everybody goes out. Kevin Love will play center, and let's say you're driving to the paint and you're going to go for a dunk, and most of the time centers jump up like this. Kevin Love just goes like this, puts his chest out, draws a foul every time.
Where the hell is Bam Adebayo in this?
Well, usually when Kevin Love's on the floor playing center, Bam's getting a break. So we both agree Miami Heat win this. They'll be playing the second seed, which are the Boston Celtics, which I think is going to be a scary matchup.
That's not an ideal Boston Celtic matchup, is it?
Alrighty, let's go over and let's cue up this music. We got something we're going to do together. You know what that is?
I'm going to assume an NBA mock draft.
It is an NBA mock draft.
To be honest with you, I thought you were doing it alone.
Well, I was going to do it alone, but like this way I thought it was going to be faster. Alrighty. So right here we have the NBA mock draft. They should have the official pick stuff, but we're going to run through this and just do a mock draft. If you guys think there's somebody that we should draft that you guys want to draft, let's just hear them in the comments. So let's get right into it. Obviously, first pick is going to be Victor Wembanyama. We're going to do that right here. They say the Spurs right here have the second pick. I say that they would go for Scoot Henderson right here. You agree with that?
The San Antonio Spurs?
With the second pick?
I think they'll go Brandon Miller, but Scoot Henderson, yeah.
Really? You think they'd go Brandon Miller? I don't think so. He fits right there. I think the Rockets. Okay, Rockets. Amon Thompson or Brandon Miller?
Okay.
Who do you go? Amon Thompson? Do you need the point
I'll
guard?
go Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
And yeah, I think you're right. But Scoot to the Spurs. That works.
Because they need a point guard.
So we're off to Trey Jones.
Hornets take Amon Thompson because he's the best player available. Pacers, I think they would take Jarace Walker because they need a big, and he's a freaking dog. 6'8", 233, small ball 5, power forward, next to Shaedon Sharpe. Then we go over here, Orlando. I feel like they'd either go Cam. I think they go Cam Whitmore here to pair up with Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero. I think that'd be a really good pick right there.
We're not supposed to draft by positions.
Yeah, and I know, but he's one of the better players available. Over here, this is where it gets difficult. I don't know if my Wizards take the Anthony Black, Asar Thompson, or Keontae George. I think they go Kassan Wallace because he's the most pro-ready here, and they're just going to keep trying to do that, getting pro-ready guys. I think Asar Thompson fits exactly what Indiana's doing. He's arguably the best player available right here. I think Anthony Black is, but from a scout's perspective, they already have a point guard throwing Asar Thompson with Benedict Mathurin, Chris Duarte, Andrew Nembhard. You see that?
I know, but continue.
Who would you take?
Asar I think he honestly might be better than his brother when it's all said and done.
Who, Asar?
Yeah.
I mean, he's more of the wing. And then with the 9th pick, the Utah Jazz, I could see who do you think they would go? Nick Smith, Keontae George, or Anthony Black? I think Anthony Black would be such a Utah pick. So Utah gets
great pick.
It's a great pick. Keontae George, I think Taylor Hendricks is the guy of the Mavs. They need front court help. It's either Grady Dick, Taylor Hendricks, Nick Smith, or Keontae George. I think Taylor Hendricks is the most impactful guy they can get right here. 6'9", front court help, plays defense.
All right.
Then over here, if I'm OKC, I'm thinking you need Greedy Dick. This team can't shoot threes.
Oh,
Take him there. Then at 12, I could see right here, like a guy like Keontae George or Nick Smith to the Magic. Who you doing?
sure.
Who, George or Smith?
I don't know, dude. You're the Magic guy.
Okay.
I'll let you
I
take
personally
this one.
think I would rather take George. He's more defense, fits there. I see Nick Smith going to the Toronto Raptors. They need a scorer. He replaces Gary Trent Jr.
Finally.
And then
Gary Trent Jr.
Yeah, because Gary Trent Jr. is going into free agency.
Just casually.
No, but if he walks, they have a replacement.
Okay.
Jalen Hood-Schifino fits what the Pelicans are dealing. He can replace Josh Richardson if he leaves.
Ooh, that would be so perfect, actually.
He's a 1-3-3
That'd
guy.
Be a perfect pick. That's an A+ pick.
Hawks need more shooting. Jet Howard, perfect for them. Then Minnesota, I think they need a guy like Dariq Whitehead, modern day 3-and-D wing. Over here, Lakers, I think Lakers go for a guy maybe
all the way down.
I was going to say like Chris Murray, a guy who's 21 years old, who's going to be an impact player. We saw what his brother did. I see this guy kind of like a Marcus Morris type player.
It would be awesome for the Lakers. I'd be very pleased with that pick.
Gigi Jackson going to the Miami Heat. This just screams Miami. Don't you agree? Screams. Then over here, Rockets get another wing, thick boy wing, and Bryce Sensabaugh.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Golden State, you think they go big or a wing?
Oh my God, I would love Maxwell Lewis on the Golden State Warriors.
That's what I'm thinking right there. And then over here, I think more shooting for the Nets and Jordan Hawkins. Then Kyle Filipowski, another pick for the Nets. I think they want a big. He's been compared to Naz Reid. Then you go over here, Rain Rupert. I could see him being another wing that they would like to bring in, the Blazers. I compare him to OG Anunoby.
Sneaky pick, yeah.
Noah Clowney. I think he could be a big to help Sabonis out on defense.
Okay.
Then we go over here. I think this screams a Grizzlies pick. He grew from 6'2 to 6'10, former point guard, turned power forward. They compare him to Lamar Odom, Leonard Miller. Screams Grizzlies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Then I know Khalil Ware returned to college. Derek Lively, we don't know what the center, if they move on from Miles Turner. Derek Lively.
They just paid the man.
Yeah, but to trade him.
I think that would have happened 3 years ago.
Hornets did draft Amon Thompson, but I think them drafting Taquavian Smith because he's the best player available would make sense.
I love him.
Then over here, the Utah Jazz draft Colby Jones, who I say is a mix of Josh Hart and Draymond Green, into a wing.
Yeah, he's sweet.
CD Sissoko.
What team did he just go to?
The Utah Jazz.
Ooh, cool.
Then I have here the Pacers taking Sidi Sissoko from France. Pretty dope guy. I think he played in the G League Ignite, though. Then over here with the last pick, I see the Clippers taking Marcus Sasser, a defensive first player.
Love it.
Now we'll go through the second round. I'm just going to show you what I do. Pistons take Jalen Wilson because they need a big body. Pacers take Julian Strawther for more shooting. Spurs take Dylan Mitchell for his 6'9" size. We got Bilal Coulibaly. I can't even say that, from France, going to the Hornets. I could see Imani Bates going to the Celtics. James Nanji could go to the I don't think that would. Yeah, I could see that happen.
Wow.
Imagine take as a draft and stash type guy. Amari Bailey to Sacramento. Thunder take maybe like a Kobe Bufkin. Then you have the Hornets back on the clock. They maybe take like a Brandon Podezemski.
They have a ton of picks.
Then Hami Jaquez goes to a team like the Denver Nuggets. Terrence Shannon to a team like the Wizards. You go back over here, I think a guy like Keontae George could fit what the Hornets are doing. They have a lot of picks. Blazers have another pick. I could see them going for a guy like, Nikola Drusic. Then you have as well, the Spurs are back on the clock, depending on who's there. I could see them going for, it gets a bit difficult because you don't know who's going to go where, but Mojave King, if he's really in the draft, I could see the Spurs being interested in him. Then you go over here. I think the rest, it starts to become a crapshoot right here, guys, to be honest. Tracy Jackson Davis.
I was hoping he kept falling.
Deron
Damn.
Holmes. Lakers, I could see going for a guy like, honestly, if Arthur Kaluma, he's like a multi-positional 6'8" power forward.
Okay. I'll
Coleman
take it.
Hawkins, maybe if they want to back up
Hey,
big right there.
got the
Clippers,
fucker.
Judah Mintz could be a good pick. If Ricky Council goes into the draft, I could see them going for him. The Brooklyn Nets, I think they would go for a guy like Andre Jackson Jr. I could see the Suns going for a guy like Jordan Walsh who can shoot some threes. Then you have over here, it starts to become a crapshoot because you don't know. Maybe the Wolves take Tristan Vucevic. And then you have guys like Isaiah Wong still in the draft who can provide some defense. And I think it starts Juan Nunez could be a good draft and stash for them. Then you have even more guys like Jalen Clark's hurt. I think he's going to stay. Trying to see if there's any other guys out there. I heard Michael, this guy is going up on the draft boards. Tyler Burton was a guy who was flying up the boards earlier in the year, especially last year. I could see him getting drafted. And the Sixers, and then that was the draft.
Great picture, Chicago. I would love if that's how the draft concluded.
2 picks, ignore them because that's not actually going to be how it goes. And I think this is the last.
Give the Bucks give them another Triple J.
All right, this is the 2023 mock draft. Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, Eamon Thompson, Jarace Walker, Cam Whitmore, Kassan Wallace, Asar Thompson, Anthony Black, Taylor Hendricks, Grady Dick, Keontae George, Nick Smith, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jet Howard, Dariq Whitehead, Chris Murray, Gregory Jackson II, Gigi Jackson, also he's known as Bryce Sinsabo, Maxwell Lewis, Jordan Hawkins, Kyle Falkowski, Rayan Rupert, Noah Clowney, Leonard Miller, Derek Lively II, Taquavian Smith, Colby Jones, C.D. Sissoko, Marcus Sasser.
Dude, I love Jalen Wilson going to what team was it? Detroit?
Yeah.
I love that so much. I absolutely love that.
No, I thought it was a good pickup too. I agree with that. It was a good idea. I thought it was nice.
Another shout out Troy Weaver, man. You did another great job. Draft.
You didn't like the draft? You didn't like Greco Frico? You didn't like that? I thought it was I thought that was pretty reasonable. I think the players on there. Let me know.
Draft,
man. I think that was good. I felt like it was realistic, and some of the picks I did off of best player available, and then the other ones with what they're trying to build is what I also, because people don't realize is once you get outside of the top 5 picks, teams are it's a crapshoot. Teams are trying to get guys that fit the team identity that they're trying to build or continue to build. So that's why I had those choices.
Yeah. A lot of teams don't know how to draft.
All right. So did we want to save? Also, I did that in 10 minutes. I'm really proud of myself.
Nice.
So there is 2 things left that we can talk about, and that is the Wizards and the Mavericks, or you want to say, and the Kennedy Chandler, Kenneth Lofton situation. Any of those things you want to say for today, or even touch on?
I don't really care.
You don't care?
The coaches, maybe I don't know.
I feel like we can do more of a deep dive tomorrow if we wanted to.
Right.
But that's going to be it. I don't know if there's anything else. I think we did really good today with what we went. I felt like we had a bunch of topics.
Yeah.
What's going on right there? You sunburnt? Yeah, you are. All righty, guys. If you guys did enjoy today's episode, let us know down. Oh, wait. Hold up.
We go shopping today.
You know what?
For apartments.
You know what? We almost fucked up and
oh my god, dude! I can't believe that.
You guys know what time it is. Favorite time of the day. That looks like Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice. That is.
Who is it?
That is. Is he in the East?
Yeah. Not in the Southeast.
It's Markieff Morris.
Markieff is in the okay. I mean, go for it,
dude. When did that happen? Oh yeah, that did happen.
Oh, he's older. He's old. He's in his 30s. Horford. He's younger than 36. He's in the what is it? The Central? Is it?
Is he in the Central?
Oh, dude, this is Brook Lopez.
Oh, fuck. Nice.
Knew I'd get it. All right. That was good. I felt really productive. We were bouncing between 7 and 10 throughout this episode. Let's see what we did on Twitter real quick.
Ooh.
Twitter
I love when the Twitter spawns in with like 300 views.
Yeah, I know.
58 live viewers.
Has no idea. It says,
ooh, I'm going to get going on the Instagram today.
Yeah, no, definitely do it. It's been popping off. We need more of those highlights.
5,000 followers. When the hell are these guys are just spawning in? I gotta turn off my notifications.
Yeah, I have to turn off my notifications. Yeah, every day because like
so annoying, dude.
My phone will be like nonstop buzzing, and dude, it'll be like in waves. Your phone will be silent for like 3 hours, and then out of nowhere for an hour and a half, it'll be like don't.
Why do I get those when I'm on Instagram? I have notifications off, and I still get them whenever I'm on Instagram. So,
I don't know, man. You got any closing thoughts for the beautiful people?
Hey, his first movie. Congratulations to Thomas and his kid for seeing this.
That's awesome, man. Movie. I'm going to see the Super Mario Bros. Movie hopefully soon, so I'm glad he saw it. I'm happy that your son got to see it for his first movie. I don't remember my first movie, but that's an experience. I love every single one of you guys. Thanks for watching. You got any closing thoughts? If you guys did enjoy, be a friend.
I hope everyone enjoyed Master Sundays, man.
Who won?
John Rahm.
Isn't that the
Spaniard
kid? Oh.
No, he's the Spaniard.
That's cool. All right. Cheers, everybody. Bye.